Hello. Hi, Suzanne.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. How are you doing? I know it's here it is just a happy Halloween day here. It's still you're on the same, only 2 hours different than us, right? So it's still the 31st. It's still Halloween.
It is still the 31st. I'm in Mountain Time.
Yeah. So now Costa Rica, do you celebrate Halloween? Do they do Halloween there?
No, the Americans will do it, and I think there is going to be like a Halloween party in downtown Tamarindo at the skateboard park for the kids, but that's about it.
No, but that's it. At least I have something for them. Little bit of candy, maybe some costumes.
Yeah.
Like something. That's not bad because you do have a lot of Americans that are there, from what I saw. Yeah, so they have to do some of those, all of that regular American traditional holidays. I found out last night and yesterday that a lot of other countries really don't celebrate Halloween as much as we do here in the States, which I was surprised. Like, I thought it was universal, but I don't know.
No, unfortunately, it's not. I've lived other places where Halloween's not a big deal either. So you kind of have to make your fun if you have little kids.
Yeah, it is. I love seeing the kids in costumes. I don't know about you, but I just like seeing them dressed up, and I like the smaller children Halloween parades, that they do that.
I miss that so much. When we lived in our house in Virginia, we'd get oodles of kids every year until 9/11, and after that it just died off. So I went from giving out those fun-size candy bars to giving out full-size ones before it was all over with, because I like seeing the kids too. Costumes.
Well, with everything going on here in the States with the quarantine, our mandatory quarantines, and now it's flu season, and with flu season comes sneezing and everything, so everybody's even more worried about, the virus, so to speak, and also it just changed over the years. We were talking about that last night on another stream, that people just don't want their kids going door to door, like they used to. Just the trick or treat is not like it was when I was younger anymore. There's more like group parties, or what they call trunk parties, where you go to a parking lot and everybody brings the goodie bags. They open their trunk, and then the kids go around just to the cars, in the parking lot, and that's it. It's like a little more organized in the daylight, and instead of going to people's private homes. And
that's what we started doing after 9/11, was having trunk or treat up at the church. And we would just get hundreds upon hundreds of kids to that. And that was fun. That was enormous fun. I can't even begin to tell you. But when I was a kid, we'd go out back in the 60s. We'd go out for hours, and we would hit every neighborhood in New Orleans. We'd go everywhere.
Yeah.
There was no thought that anything was poisoned or that anybody was going to snatch you. You just go out in these big roving gangs and get your candy on.
Exactly. And even after that, like in the when I was a young adult, but even our adult parties, it was just like get dressed up, and we would have some drinks and some food. It was a way to socialize with our friends. It was a way to like wear sexy clothes, wear sexy costume and get away with it, And so it was, I enjoyed it more as a young adult than I did even as a kid. I don't remember wearing a costume much and going around much when I was a kid. I don't know why. Our neighborhood, we just didn't. But it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a religious thing, or my mom wasn't against it or anything. I just don't recall. Yeah,
that's interesting.
And I asked my brother and my sister, do you remember like getting dressed? She goes, I think we did like 1 or 2 years, but we never really got into it. I don't know why. I was like,
Wow.
okay. It was like, all right. It was just a
Well, in New
thing.
Orleans, you got Halloween, and then you got 6 months later or so Mardi Gras. So you have two opportunities to get dressed up. And if you're a young adult, have a few drinks and maybe dress a little sexier than normal. We used to do that. Mardi Gras was the thing we were focused on as young adults.
Yeah, with Fat Tuesday and Mardi Gras something. I know I stream with Megan and she tells me about it too. And I just hear all the stories, and everything. And I just know you could flash and get beats. That I know, like when the parades are going on, like because you see the shows and everybody's just pulling up their shirts and getting all those beads. Yeah, but
I remember
it's like
making
a
out
big
with
party.
10,000 guys I made out with during Mardi Gras one year.
She got the number 10,000. I'm telling you, 10,000.
I was kissing guys all day long that Mardi Gras. That's all I remember. So I don't know what the number was, but it was high.
Well, as long as you had a good time and you were perfectly safe. Yeah, so it's cool. That's cool. Actually, that's fun. That's the whole new side of you, Suzanne, that I didn't know about. That's pretty cool.
I used to be somebody that was something of a party girl back in the day, but a safe party girl.
I hate to tell you, it comes back to you because, like, when I was younger, yeah, I'd like to go out. I mean, I was even on like a pool team for like a bar. I didn't drink a lot, but I was as a social event in the evening belonged to one of a billiards pool team. And we would go from bar to bar to bar, like all the bars that were in the team. Right. And so you had like a group of people that you hung out with and stuff like that. It was all that razzing and joking around and got to meet other people. And also I understand that. I mean, that's how I spent my weekends a lot in my early 20s,
So that's how a lot of us spend our weekend.
I did drinking and playing pool, Although I'm older now, I don't play pool, but I do occasionally still have a drink. I'll have a drink when I'm on Mayhem or a little bit of wine. I like or a little drink here and there, but I don't go. I haven't been out to a bar since well before pre-COVID, like well before that. It's just all different.
It's so different now. I don't drink, but only because I take blood pressure meds. And if you drink with those, what happens is the one I'm on, you get super drunk and your blood pressure goes up. So I don't drink anymore. I miss it. I like my tequila shots, but I still have a good time without it. It's just here they're open for tourism, but I'm not open for nothing. I'm not going anywhere.
And I'm still on partial quarantine on and off because of my immune system. Like my doctor is she got me tied up. I'm telling you, she got me tied up in this house.
I know. I got mast cells, so I got mastocytosis. So I'm going nowhere. My doctor's having a fit, and I'm fully vaccinated.
Oh, look at this. My mod is outing me here. She's like, Claire Bear, we know you've never been to a stripper club. This is true. That's well known. That's why one of the voting options is to put funds together to take me to a strip club for all of my little subscribers that have decided I need to go to a strip club.
Absolutely. So, you should see it at least once in your lifetime.
I do. And they're planning a whole big tour. I'm going to see every kind of strip club there is, apparently, and I'm on the East Coast of the United States. So I've got New York. I get to go into New York with some of the rather famous ones,
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes out. We'll see how that happens. But on that note, I think we should start our first AIT.
Okay.
Because I could sit here and talk to you all day. I didn't know this like this. I booked you for the wrong show. We should have did a one-on-one. Let's talk about anything thing. That would have been
a fun person. That's what people don't get. That now that I'm away from my cult for a long time, I'm actually going back to the fun person I used to be. Before I started thinking Jesus was going to strike me down.
Well, I hear you there. I'm not in the cult, but I do feel freer without religious inhibitions on me and feeling like the shame of it all. I do feel that. So I could relate with that. I could relate with you. But I always thought you were fun. I mean, I never thought you weren't fun. I just didn't know you were this much. I didn't know you were this much fun. It's like, but we'll have to do more fun stuff too.
Okay, we'll have to. Yeah, most definitely.
We'll have to think of some stuff. Maybe we could talk about that the coming out cult thing. That'd be fun. And religious oppression. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crazy.
There you go. All right, so I'll go to read it. You ready? Okay.
Yep.
All right, chat, let's pay attention here. You're going to have to vote eventually, and it's a long list of voting. It's going to take me forever to say. Am I the asshole for waking up my spouse by turning on the light? Some of these I just picked because they're just ridiculous. And this might be one. Okay. My spouse and I are church musicians. I am called every week to church. I'm up at 7 a.m. every Sunday to have some coffee and get dressed before I have to be there. Because we haven't switched over from DST, which is daylight savings time, to standard time, it's pretty dark in the morning. My spouse was having trouble sleeping and moved to the couch sometime during the night and moved back to the bed shortly after I woke up and went to the bathroom. I could not see a thing in the bedroom to get dressed, so I turned the light on to get greeted by a third degree from my spouse, who told me I was so selfish in the mornings and that they were just getting comfortable enough to fall back to sleep. Spouse isn't needed at church until at least 10:30. I tried to explain that it was dark and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't just wear anything out of the house because I was going to church. I also promptly switched off the light as soon as they complained. So am I the asshole? And if I am, what do you suggest I do to make up for it? I'm like, exactly, right? Like, this is just like, okay, I don't know. First of all, I don't understand how they can be considered an asshole for not falling all over the bedroom, and tripping over themselves. That's ridiculous, right?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Even with church musicians, it's ridiculous.
It is, and they get to go back to sleep. But becoming like to say that you're so selfish and all this other stuff because you turned on a light, and I don't know. I think there's a little bit of entitlement going on there. I think they may be exaggerating a little too. Like, I don't know. Sometimes when they write these, you and I both know, right? Because we've been in long-term relationships where sometimes it gets a little ridiculous. Like you end up having a disagreement about the most ridiculous
stupid little things.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's nice to be considerate of your spouse and everything, but I don't think she was being inconsiderate, actually. He was not in. Here's the thing. He was not in the bedroom when she turned on the light. She didn't know. Like, she got up. I mean, when she got up, she was not in the bedroom. He was sleeping on the couch. So she didn't see him when she got up. She went into the bathroom, and then she absentmindedly, she come in and she turns on the light, and she doesn't know he's in there. And then he had moved in there. I think he's being a little I think he's being a little entitled, and I think he's the one being a little selfish because he's the one who moved from the couch into the bedroom.
Well, here's the thing, too, with that. Female, male. I guarantee you there's some sort of, how should I put this politely? Okay, and many...
You don't have to be polite. It's my channel.
many of these stupid churches, you have the man is the king. He's the tin-plated dictator, baby man that must be catered to. And I would not be surprised if you're not seeing some of that, particularly when he's screaming at her about being the a-hole.
Gosh, would you be mentioning the M word like you talking about misogyny there a little bit?
Yeah, I'm talking about misogyny. I'm talking
oh my God.
These guys that are just selfish little jerks that think that because they're men, they're allowed to do this nonsense.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some you are correct. Many of the churches, especially those towards more towards occult type church, are definitely that is the type of environment that they're dealing with.
When they teach a woman no needs, you have to.
I think you're right.
Always submit.
Yeah, I think you might be correct because, like, towards the end, she was like, "And what do you think I should have done about it to make up for it?" As if she did something wrong. Instead of saying, it's like, for me, the end of that would have been, "And ain't that some shit?" Like, ain't that ridiculous? Like, can you believe you said that?
Put a pillow over your head.
Exactly.
Shut up and deal with it. Be an adult. Grow up.
Close your eyes, roll over, go back to sleep. I think it's pretty clear. Let me just read these options just once. I'm gonna read this plaque just once, people, because it's a mouthful. My gosh, it's getting so long, all these voting options. But I think Suzanne and I are pretty clear, like, what we think, but we'll vote at the end. I'll let you guys know the options. If you think the writer of this this AITA, the original poster, the woman who turned on the light, is the asshole, you vote number 1. If you think her husband, who's actually is calling her selfish, but putting on a light because she needs to actually get dressed to leave the house, then that would be number 2. If they're both assholes, then vote number 3. And then, of course, we have number 4, which is yay duck porn. Number 5 is Bears Fund for boys and boobies, and that would be the stripper fund. Number 6 is everyone's an asshole, because in this world these days, what's going on? Just about everybody is an asshole. But some of us, like myself, we own it when we're being an asshole. But there's many out there who don't. Number 7 is peckers, pecks, and pants on the deck. That's a mayhem one. Number 8 is Chris is always the asshole, because our mate Chris is definitely an asshole, and we're going to get him to trend. Nobody's an asshole like Chris. He's just a lovable, affable, lovable asshole, but he is definitely an asshole. Number 9 is Reverend Ruins is an asshole, because he's in direct competition with Chris by putting drop bears all through my Discord, Suzanne. Every single
my
room.
goodness.
Every single room. I went in there and got bombed by a drop bear. It's terrible. Number 11 is Bears Beaver needs a laser beam. I have noise. I don't know why. Number 42 is Jay is a coffee hating asshole, and that's because our friend Jay came and did an AIT and said he hated coffee, and the chat was very upset.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like, how can you be human and hate coffee? This is it. This is why he got a number. You see? That everybody in the chat said that. Like, everybody was so upset that he said that. I was like, oh, no, you done called it now, Jay. You're going to get your own number. 69, don't put 69 in the chat unless you put a phone number, because it's just plain rude. It's false advertisement. It's teasing. You just don't do it. Not here. It's just a rule. 96 is Claire is really a drop bear, and that's a damn lie. I don't know why this number is up here. I have to talk to the manager. There's my Karen moment of the day. We got to get rid of that one for sure. 99 is give Bear the GGs, please. I'm going to have to remove that too, because my avatar has been augmented quite nicely for Mayhem. Both of my avatars that I use have been augmented by the lovely Nikki May and by Peter. But they both are very good with paint, and those GGs are now there, so we can remove that one too. The avatar has been augmented quite nicely, and they do great paint surgery, the two of them. They're pretty talented. 420, no cocktail means no cock in the tail. That happens to be a favorite of one of my mods. And then there's 666, spiders are the devil. And I don't know why, but they are. We were going to do spider porn on Mayhem at one time, and I think that we just haven't got over the trauma of thinking about spider porn. So there was like, I don't know about you, Suzanne, but I definitely think that I think that he is the asshole. Along with Chris, of course, and all the other numbers. But
definitely the asshole.
Yeah, he's definitely. I don't know, chat. The chat is saying 4, yay porn, thank you. Do you guys think that that he is just overreacting a little bit about the light? I mean, I definitely think so, but I don't know. I was like, oh my God, here we go, Mrs. Cassandra. Oh my God, there's 2 me and all but the OP is an ass. There you go. Yep. The men, and Just Chat says the men, and Brandon says yay porn. Hi Brandon, thank you for being here. It's like, I don't know, it's just crazy. I don't know. And Mrs. Cassandra says, yeah, I think no spider porn. I think the writer needs to run. I think she does need to actually I think she needs to reevaluate some things there, because if she's feeling a little guilty for turning on a light, there's something definitely wrong there, Okay. Brandon, 69, 480, 450, 8326. I accept all news. Let's get weird. Okay. That's a nice number. There's a nice bunch of numbers you put there, Brandon. But this is the wrong stream. We do all the nudity on Mayhem. That's where clothing is optional. It's the daytime. It's a Sunday afternoon. I assure you, we're all dressed here. It's like,
yes, we are. I can put clothes on to come.
Yeah, so did I. Oh, so did I. I actually had to. Oh my God. There you go. Oh my God. See, we got a lot in common. We're nudists at heart too. Look at that. Oh, boy. Are you ready for another?
Sure.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is something. It's like, all right. All right. This has got a cult in it. This is okay. Am I the
I
asshole?
read this one.
Did you? If I give my
Yes.
boyfriend, so you're ready for this one, right?
I'm ready.
We'll read it for the chat. Am I the asshole if I give my boyfriend an ultimatum about being in a cult? We have been together for 3 years and plan on getting married. He is the absolute love of my life. In June, I found out he joined a cult secret society group, which horrifies me, but he has assured me that it's nothing to worry about and that he is in and out of interest and is not all that involved. Mostly what bothers me about it is that they promote false information about ancient Egypt and other historical events and people. I'm going to write a children's book about archaeology and Egyptology, which is sacred to me. So him being supportive of this group feels like he does not care about my feelings or purpose, since he continues to be a member despite me expressing this on several occasions and pouring my heart and soul out to him in a letter about it. 2 months ago, he told me that he didn't see himself being in it for much longer, and I felt so relieved. However, last weekend, I discovered that a month ago, he ordered some long candles and holders, which are the kind required to do the initiation ritual into this cult, after 3 months of their studies, which would line up with the time of him reaching that point. I'm trying not to assume the worst, but I really don't think he'd have any other reason to buy the candles like this. I'm horrified that he is more into the cult than he has told me and is lying to me about how much it means to him. I want to try to have an honest discussion with him this weekend and discover what's going on. If push comes to shove, am I the asshole if I decide to give him an ultimatum between being with me and being in this group? That's always a tough one because I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Well,
I will have to say.
I kind of think she's the asshole, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I read this when I read all the comments on it.
Yeah.
She's talking about the Rosicrucians, which I don't know a whole lot about them, but I don't think that they qualify as what you would call a cult. Maybe a high demand religious organization, but I don't think they're a cult in the traditional manner that she's thinking cult. And here's what I know from being married for like forever. If your husband is involved in something and you start pressuring him to stop it, you're almost certainly pushing him straight into the arms of it. Better to just sit back and express your concerns and let him do him. And if it's too much of a hassle for you, then you go.
Right. And the thing that bothers me about it is that they're not being honest with each other. She's not having the conversation. She's not having a conversation yet with him about it. If he's buying this stuff and everything, well, she did say it was months ago, and now they're talking about it now. You can't judge him from something he ordered months ago. I mean, the situation could have changed. He could be telling the truth that he is pulling away from it. The thing is, she's not really talking to him about it. And you have to be open. I mean, when you're in a relationship, all of your beliefs and all of your hobbies are not going to be the same. If she wants to do this paper on, Egyptology and all of this, that's great. And she knows that some of that information is false, but it doesn't appear like he's slamming it down her throat that what she's doing is wrong. But she is kind of saying that he can't be part of it because of something that she believes. And, it doesn't show a lot of grace there, or a lot of charitable listening or compassion for each other. Yeah.
She's not giving him any option at all. She's not letting him explore this. She's trying to control the whole thing, and they have to be thinking the same thing. And I can tell you right now, that kind of thinking, that wrecks relationships. You're absolutely allowed to have different interests.
I don't know of any situation where an ultimatum is given and there is not damage to a relationship in one way or another. Now, I understand that ultimatums need to be given when there is harm being done to one person or the other, or there is great risk. When
Absolutely.
we're talking about habits that are dangerous to you, or people's lives are in danger, or it's for illness, or addictions and things like that, where somebody's not safe, and you have great concern for them over these kinds of behaviors. I can understand ultimatums when you get to the point that everything else isn't working, but you don't come with an ultimatum like right out there, right?
You don't start with an ultimatum, and that's what she's doing here.
Because ultimatums shut doors. One way or another, a door gets shut, whether they agree with you or not and comply with your ultimatum. You have literally shut a door on open communication on the subject once you issue an ultimatum. There is no more give and take. There is no more understanding between the two of you. No more productive communication, at that point.
Right. Exactly.
And that's how I look at it. I've never been in a situation where an ultimatum is stated where it is not damaging to a relationship in one way or another. And then that's on many levels. That's with your partner, that's with your children, that's with your parents, that's with your friends, that's with just about everybody. Ultimatums are enders of conversation, not
they absolutely
producers.
are.
Yeah. They are. So I'm really against her for doing that. And I'm not so sure he's being dishonest. It does look like he might be a little bit, so I wouldn't be a fan of his either. But like I normally say with these AITs, almost every single one, I'm like, it's all about communication and compromise.
Absolutely.
In every relationship we have with everybody on the planet, it is always about that. You have to be able to communicate and compromise. You have to be able to understand each other's points of view. Be open to it. You don't have to agree. You don't even have to totally understand. You just have to be willing to listen and try. That's this where the compromise comes in, is just to try to work it out together. I don't really see her being that way. It's just like she wants to be right. And
absolutely.
And he has to just do whatever she says. That would make me uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to be her partner.
Well, maybe that's why he's downplaying it too, is because he senses that she's not down with this. And she's probably making some statements to him that makes him think that she would not be open to this sort of thing at all.
Right.
But I've never gotten this thing where people think that they have to agree with their spouse in every single thing and be a lockstep. That is so not true. You really have to let your partner be free to be who they are, even if you don't agree with them. Right. Even if you don't agree with them at all.
I know. It's just like, people learn, they have to be willing to explore and learn their own lessons and mistakes. I mean, I make mistakes all the time. You try to do something the right way. You think you're trying to protect everybody. Somebody always gets their feelings hurt, or something's not done like to the way they think it should be done. All you can do is own it and say you can do better. You can see their point. You can understand where they're coming from, but you can't change what you've already done. You can't, but you can
apologize.
All you can do is apologize and say, I see your point. I could have done it better. I could have did this, but I also think it's important to understand intent and, and to listen, to how things could have happened or be done better. Those are conversations that are important, especially if you have relationships that are worth saving or that are of value to you,
Right.
But I definitely think perhaps I don't know about you guys, but number one would be the original poster would be the woman who was thinking that she wants to get him out of this cult and she wants to make an ultimatum. And number two would be, of course, him. And it's kind of unclear to me whether he's being honest or dishonest about his feelings about the cult, because he could waver back and forth about it. Depending on how strong her opinion is. If you are already willing to throw an ultimatum, I would think you're not really open to discussion. So he may be hesitating to tell her how he really feels about anything, which is unfortunate,
it is.
Because, without trust and honesty, I'm worried more about their relationship than the cult, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. It's like,
I don't
girl,
think the
you were
cult's a
way too
problem.
immature to be married
Yeah.
to him, to marry him, to be engaged.
Yes, it is, because if you can't accept each other's differences or
Hmm.
the whole person for who they are, then there's a lot of growing that needs to happen in the relationship, and
Absolutely.
sometimes you grow apart at that point if you're not accepting. So that's unfortunate. I'm definitely going to vote that she's definitely an asshole, and so is
Yeah.
Chris. There you go, Chris. But that's definitely where I'm going with that one. There's a number 1 and 8 for you there, Sandy. We're gonna get that 8 trending for sure. But I don't know, chat. How do you guys feel? Do you guys think he is the asshole, or do you think she is the asshole, or do you think they all are assholes? And also, you can vote all of the other numbers, but I'm not reading that list again. I will put it up for you though, in case you need some reminding on what they all are. There they are again. Vote as you will. Um, but I will let you know, right? The Reddit thread, I believe, decided that she was the asshole, didn't they, Suzanne?
They
That
did. And they
they
also
did.
gave pretty good advice, I thought, in that thread.
Yeah, do you remember any of it? You want to share it with the chat to tell them? Like, I think they were.
Um, I think there were a lot of people that told them to communicate, if I remember right,
Mhm,
and that's how they teased out what it actually was, what the thing she was saying was the cult was. And
mhm,
people were trying to educate her on what exactly it was,
mm.
and
I'm wondering,
just
was she open for it? Did she answer them?
oh
Was
no,
she
no,
like,
no.
listen?
She answered a few things, but she wasn't really very accepting. She was of the opinion that it was a cult no matter what anybody said.
Oh, so then I'm probably absolutely correct in calling her the asshole then. Yay, see,
Yep.
closed mind. Yeah, if you have a closed mind, you're always going to be an asshole in my book, because
Yep.
you can't make good decisions, compassionate, educated decisions if you're closed off. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, I don't know, but it looks like the ones who are voting in the chat agree with us that she's the asshole. Because
Good.
number one, because she doesn't even know what a real cult is. She's kind of being a little judgmental and not very educated on the subject. And number two, because she's boxing her partner in, and that's never good. That's just never a good plan. We're gonna go on. Oh, now we're gonna be annoyed at our friend. Here we go. Here.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. This is am I the asshole for being annoyed at my friend? I have this friend who is always late for everything. I'm not even exaggerating with that, by the way. If she's not late, she cancels the plans completely. When she's late, she doesn't even text to let me know. She leaves me wondering if she's going to show up, and usually eventually texts at the meetup time. She also tends to blame her parents for being late, but that isn't the case in my opinion, seeing as she only tells them she needs to be somewhere at the last minute. It's like she can't take responsibility. If she isn't blaming her parents, she is making some vague excuse. It just feels like she doesn't even want to go anywhere with us, but then she'll text saying she misses us and wants to go out. I've tried to make accommodations for her by giving her an earlier time to show up than everyone else, yet she still manages to be late. What is frustrating about this as well is she will be the one to reach out to make the plans in the first place. I stopped asking her to come out recently as it just feels pointless, as she's always late or cancels. Another issue is that we literally know nothing about her. For example, if we ask what music she likes, she will refuse to tell us and get all embarrassed. While I understand some people are simply private and don't like sharing all the details of their life, it's hard to bond with someone if you know absolutely nothing about them. She knows what I'm interested in, and I just don't understand why she refuses to tell us the simplest things. She tends to not charge her phone for weeks and then texts us out of nowhere, spamming us. And it's frustrating and honestly feels like this is a very one sided friendship. And I'm tired. I don't want to stop being friends, but it just feels like she's simply not interested in the friendship, even if she claims otherwise. Am I the asshole? Hmm. That, you know, hmm. Hmm. I don't
Well,
know. Hmm. There seemed to be too much going on there. Somebody's
I
got.
was. something
passive
weird's
aggressive
going on.
issues. Yeah.
I
Somebody's
mean, is she
taking
a spy, an international spy, or just really disorganized?
well, she's late and she doesn't tell me what music she likes and she doesn't
That's so
charge her
weird.
phone. Like it already sounds like the operator, the original poster has made up their mind that like
Oh yeah,
this is just not a relationship for her. So why not walk away? If
yeah,
you're
exactly.
nitpicking, like like come on, who cares if your friend charges her phone or not? Really? Is that an
Huge red
issue?
flags. Huge red flags. Just walk away. Don't make a federal case about it because you'll never
She
figure out what the hell's going on. She might be sleeping away from her husband. Who knows?
it's like who I mean it's like I mean but it is frustrating if somebody's always late. Like we all have a friend like that, right? Or had a
Oh
friend or
yeah,
someone in our life that is always late no matter what, and it becomes like a running joke in your friend circle, right? Like you got to give them a 2 hour
yeah.
before
Exactly.
arrival
That's what I
time
would do. I
because
would
like
move the arrival time way up, like an
yeah,
hour for the people I knew that were consistently late.
exactly. And you know, but we all know, but it's not so annoying that you would like say, I'm just not gonna be friends with you because you're like, you know,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I do see that some of this young lady's behavior does look like she doesn't really is not invested in the friendship. You know, if she, you know, just like doesn't talk to them, doesn't tell them anything about herself. She's not
Why are
charging
they
her
even having
phone.
a friendship? Why are they even having a friendship if they know nothing about her?
Yeah,
It's
like
just
how did
weird.
that if you don't yeah, how did that even become like friend? Like the term friend, like that's more like acquaintance, right? And so
Right.
I don't know or something. Yeah, but I do think that the operator's being a little ridiculous though with some of it.
Absolutely.
Especially like she went from one subject to the other. I'm like, what is the real problem here? Is that this person pissing you off and you don't want to be friends with them. I think in overall, she feels a little disrespected. She felt entitled to information and what she deems to be friendship behavior, like sharing and showing up on time or showing up at all, you know,
Right, right.
you know,
It
things like
makes me
that. Yeah.
wonder. I mean, maybe the rich your friend has real bad depression problems or something else going on.
It's true. I wonder why that didn't occur to her to ask. Like you won't, you know, she won't tell you about them. But then again, if she won't tell you about what music she likes,
Right. She's not going to tell you. She's
is she gonna
depressed.
tell you she's having problems in her life with her parents or with her a relationship or school or work or anything? I mean, if she's not even telling you what kind of music she likes, which I don't even know, like that just seemed odd. Like that just seemed a
That
little.
did seem odd. Why would
It
you be
even
friends with somebody you know nothing about?
yes, and like, how do you use the term friend if you know absolutely nothing about them? Like nothing. Like, I mean, even like internet friends know stuff about each other. You talk, right? You like, you know,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
share stuff. Like you and I were sharing about Mardi Gras, and we're sharing about,
Ah, yeah.
uh, our youth and stuff. Like that's knowing stuff about somebody. That's more friendly than these two that don't even know the music and can't show up at the same place at the same time for anything. You know, this is like it just seemed really weird. I wish I had
Yeah.
to know. You know, we got to work on making a number for voted as a fake AIT because for something about
Yes.
this like this is definitely sounds very very fake, which a lot of them do. I don't think the
Yeah.
cult
There's
one
some I've
was.
read. It's like there's no way. This somebody's
Yeah, but
trolling somebody.
yeah, it's definitely somebody's trolling somebody. It could be that they are here too. I don't know, but I don't know, people. If you think that the operator is the asshole in this one, vote number one. If you think a friend who refuses to disclose her music choices and or show up on time or at all, or charge her phone, like the biggest sin there is that she doesn't charge her phone. I mean, crikey, who could be friends with somebody who doesn't charge their phone? No, I'm kidding. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't really care if my friend charges their phone or not. It's their business. It's not mine, you know. But if you think that she's wrong, then you vote number two if the friend is actually asshole. If you think they're both assholes, then vote number three. And you know all the rest. There's the yay duck porn and there's the fun for the stripper bar, number 5, and then there's 42 for Chris. I mean 8 for Chris being the asshole, and 42 for Jay because he hates coffee, and all the rest. There's so many glorious numbers there. I just vote all the numbers because they're all good. Nikki did such a good job making all of those up. But that Mrs. Cassandra, we need a number to give Suzanne on Mayhem. Oh, we got to vote.
Oh my gosh.
They want you on the midnight show, all naked and telling stories. This is it. Hey, there you go. Well,
it'd only be 10 p.m. here, so I would be down for that. I mean, and I've gone on Ren's chat, Real Entertainment News at crazy times.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to that.
No, hey, it's an open invite. We're here every midnight on Saturday night, midnight every week.
Okay.
Unless something happens. So come on by. I'll throw you a link. That'll be fun. See, you guys, you didn't even need a number. Look at that. You gotta. You chat. You work hard. You work hard for the Mayhem. Some of you in that chat are Mayhem obsessed, and I love it because it makes it so much more fun when we get up there. So thank you for the support, and thanks, Suzanne. That's gonna be fun. That'll be kind of
cool. Will be.
So now, chat, get busy in there and vote for the asshole. I only see a couple of votes. You guys are getting really lazy with the keyboard there. Like, give me a couple of votes. Your numbers will be showing up later on the stream because I leave the chat up. So I definitely think that the operator is an asshole. I really do. I think she's I think the other one is just she don't care. She just doesn't care. And she's just not invested. And she's just living her life. She don't care, but doesn't make her an asshole. I don't know. I don't think the other friend is as much the asshole as she is. So I'm gonna vote 1 and 8 and all the numbers as usual. Because I can't choose. You give me all those numbers. I don't know about you, and I want them all. Like I want them all. This is like I definitely, Sandy. I am. Let me see. And I'm old, so I sleep through it every time. Midnight meets up would require drugs. I'm everyone's asshole. That's okay, Sandy. There's replay. I think actually last night's is very good for replay. It was pretty funny. They left Peter and I alone for a long time in the beginning.
Oh wow!
Like, it was pretty. Peter and I were entertaining ourselves. It was hard to remember there was a chat there for a little while, but it was pretty funny. But we had some quite interesting conversations, but the animated memes were quite lovely, Sandy. There's a Kent Hovind one there that's gonna knock your socks off.
Oh my gosh.
It was so good, Suzanne. Oh my God, you got it. It was your jam. You got to watch it.
I definitely will.
I'm going to send you the link to your Twitter for the video. It's 5 minutes of bliss. I'm telling you. And then tell me what you think later, because the mad scientist created. He made me, because that morning over at Hereticals, we had read and commented on Kent Hovind's book, How to Make Money and Spend It God's Way. And
I saw that book and I was thinking about doing a review because I do book reviews of these awful fundamentalist type books. Like I'm on Debbie Pearl's book, Create a Better Brain Through Neuroplasticity right now. And
I think you have a lot of common. Yeah.
She barely has a high school education.
Yeah, well, Kent Hovind's brains. Look at Kent Hovind, famous, going to be a businessman and, investing all this money for the church, doesn't pay his taxes, go to jail, lose his lawsuit, beat his wife. He's sitting in jail right now. They are not the best.
Pick him up on their plane and drive him all over the place out of jail. Exactly. It's just like, dude?
Suzanne, we need to introduce you to the Hereticals channel. You got to check them out. 6-pack on Friday morning. I'm over there. If you're although it's quite early for you. Wait, that might be cruel for you because you're 2 hours before me. That would be 4:30 in the morning for you.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to be replay on Crude.
All right, go watch the replays. Yeah, I'll send you the link to the channel. Yeah, I'll send you the link to the channel.
I actually have the channel comes up on mine as suggested, and I actually have it bookmarked. So, but I haven't had time to watch all the videos that everybody makes.
I'm actually doing stuff with them with six packs now on Friday
Oh,
mornings, but they
wow.
do a lot of debate and they do a lot of very good intellectual but humorous commentary and conversations. It's always a good time over there, and I think you'd like it. You got a lot
I
in
have to.
common. You got a lot of lot in common with
Oh,
them for sure. But who knew? Look at this! Like, well, I did it. I had no idea. Look at this. Like, this is amazing. We're gonna have so much fun on Mayhem too. Let me do another. Let's go. Coming on 45 here. Let's see. We'll try to get another one in.
okay.
I think, Sandy, I might be a little biased because it's my show, but I definitely think it's worth the replay. It was really a good time last night. It was almost 2.5 hours. We went long. It was pretty
Oh,
good.
wow.
Yeah. And it didn't feel like it. It went so fast. Oh, there's also, if that doesn't sell you, the Kent Hovind, there was also a little video about the Cloud Whisperer. And I almost
Oh,
wet
my
my
goodness.
pants again. I did. Because it was so good. I was almost wet my pants again. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. It was
Well,
so
I'll
much.
warn you, I'm very goofy at that time of night because I've taken all my
Oh,
medicines for my
let me,
various
you,
and sundry things, and I'm usually don't need to be drunk because I'm
you
already
will
tipsy.
You will not even feel self-conscious. If you watch
Good.
last night's Mayhem and you see how I acted like a fool, all I did was laugh the whole time. It was ridiculous. You will not feel self-conscious. It doesn't matter
Good.
what meds you are on. It'll be fine. I mean, you could just do whatever and it would be fine. It, it, it was just so much fun. Now I gotta read this, and I'm just laughing, just thinking about it. I'm starting to laugh again, and my face hurt so bad yesterday from laughing like all day,
Yeah.
Oh god! But that's a good day. Who doesn't want to spend a whole day laughing like that? It was really good. It's good
Exactly.
for the soul. My nan has a saying that a good laugh and a good sleep is the cure for anything, and
Sure
she's right.
is.
It sure is. Because that laughing got rid of so many demons I was holding in for a while. I feel free today, people. I do. All right.
Good.
Am I the asshole for allowing my dog to sniff a neighbor's dog through the fence? Yes. Yeah, I did this to you,
Oh, my
Suzanne.
goodness.
Yes, I did. Walking my dog this morning, and we passed the house on the corner. They have two small yappy dogs that saw us through the front storm door as we walked by. We rounded the corner to the other side of their property, and someone let the dogs out into the yard. Their fence line is right up next to the road, and I thought it would be nice to let my dogs sniff their dogs through a very secure wooden fence. Neighbor did not like that at all and started repeatedly yelling at me, "Don't do that." I complied, said okay, and tried to pull my dog away. The verbal assaults continued, where she called me that kind of bitch.
Oh, my
And I
goodness.
told her to have a nice day and perhaps she should place a sign on her fence stating her concerns. If she doesn't want her dogs to interact with other dogs, why the bleep did she let them out in the first place? Oh, well, this bit harsh, but yeah, I could see they're just sniffing. I don't see the problem here. I don't know what she's so
What
upset
is
about.
the problem? That's just crazy. Some
Yeah,
people. She's the asshole. He's not. Well, whoever the OP is. That's just nutty.
I think they're both a little like weird.
They are both a little weird. No doubt about that.
I think they're just both a little bit yes. God, I'm trying to read the chat at the same time, and now I can't talk. It's like oh my god. It's like mayhem. I apologize, Suzanne. It's mayhem spillover. I hardly ever do these streams on Sunday because it takes like days to recover.
My goodness.
It's like, but no, I think they are both a little bit
Most
a little bit
definitely
of an
both
asshole.
a little bit. Yeah.
And here it
really
is. I think Mrs. Cassandra's got it. Can we claim fake? Yes, we can. We can actually put our hands straight up in the air and call bullshit on this one. Bullshit. Like this is so fake because.
Pat, here I live with all these asshole millionaires, and I've seen equally stupid things go down here. In fact, I've been writing all this shit down because so much stuff happens here that's ridiculous. like
They
that.
would curse like that over dog sniffing. I mean, we're not
Oh
talking
my
a dog fight.
word. Oh
Over
my
dog
word. Do you
sniffing. They
get
would,
people who are entitled? Oh
oh,
my word. You should hear some of the crap that goes on. Some of the things that people have fallen out over are ridiculous.
over dog sniffing. Like this
Now,
is
I haven't heard it over dog sniffing, but I have seen gringos here that will have a fit over wild animals in their yard. And if you live here, you're going to have wild animals in your yard. There's just no way around it.
no, yeah. What are you gonna do?
And
Like there's just
just
like,
silly things. One time I watched a rich woman come into this hotel and chew out the desk clerk because the wind was blowing sand and she wanted him to stop that.
oh
And I
my
just
God.
had to just bite my lip. I was trying not to laugh because I knew the desk people really well. I was coming through the hotel to grab a Coke, and she was really sure that they could stop the sand blowing or the
Oh,
crocodiles being in the estuary. It's like, are you crazy? That's
oh
what I want to
God.
say. Are you crazy? You
Yeah,
know?
and the answer is yes, yes, just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit off a rocker there. But
Yeah.
I just can't believe they're so upset about that. I mean, I understand people are protective of their dogs and stuff like that, but it really wasn't that big a deal to get all cursy
No,
about it. You know, I didn't even think it was that big a deal to go write an AITA about it. But still, it's like
I don't know. People don't have
I
enough
don't
to
know.
do.
There's
It's
bored,
COVID.
right? Yeah, it's
Must
we're called
be.
COVID assholes. That's what we call this one. COVID assholes. We need a number for that. Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
we need a number for that. We need a number. This is definitely a COVID related asshole for sure. I think they're both being ridiculous on this one. I actually do. Always Grateful says those those hotel people need the cloud whisperer. Maybe he could stop the sand with his mental. He was like he had like a mental ability, he thought himself, and he was really whispering to the clouds to dissipate as the wind was like
Oh my
breaking them up.
goodness.
It was
Oh,
I couldn't. I don't know, but I forgot you were there. You saw it. I couldn't even contain myself. Don't get me started because, like, full bladder and stuff. This could be terrible.
I have seen people in my old church that did stupid stuff like that. Like said, I'm gonna make God make the rain stop because it's ruining
Well,
our outreach. Like that.
he was like he kept calling Odin Thor, like and
Oh
like
my
calling the
goodness.
guy. It was like, and he would get this voice going. Oh my God, I couldn't. It was the things you
Oh
find
my
on the
goodness.
internet. Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
know.
They just started talking like they were talking about our hereticals. They showed it after we did the Hovind book, and then when we were doing mayhem, we brought it up, and then Jen brought the video up, and we showed the chat, and it was just as funny the second time. Like I couldn't contain myself, and I knew what was coming, and I could. The guy is like so ridiculous. I just can't believe it's like when you're a kid and you sit in the car and you think you can make the light change. I mean, I know my grandson does it like all the
Yes.
time. He starts counting and he goes 1, 2, 3. Get ready. I'm going to make it green. 4. There it goes. It's green. There you go. Like he's got power over the lights or something. It's
Right,
what you
right,
do. But he's a kid. This is a full-grown man with a camera videotaping him and
right.
putting it out for
Silly,
millions of people to see, thinking he can make the clouds
silly
disappear.
folks. Mhm.
But then again, but then there's people like Ken Hovind, and they do just as much ridiculous stuff and think
Yeah,
they're
they
serious.
do.
But I know it's just
I still think the biggest laugh I had with that was the Bethel Death Raising Team. They had
oh,
T-shirts on them that said Death Racing Team, and they're all standing there looking all masculine with crossed arms and serious faces. And I was just laughing so hard I was crying. It's like, really? You're bragging on this? How many people you raised from the dead? 0? Okay.
0, exactly. So they always says, "In the name of Thor, stop the sand." That's what the guy was saying. It was like, "In the name of
That's
Thor,
what I'm gonna do next time. In the name
disappear."
of Thor,
Yeah,
stop
in
the
the name
sand.
of Thor. You just call yourself the Sand Whisperer, Suzanne. You could go make some money.
I'll have to do that. I'll have to hang out on the beach on the windy days in January when they happen and say, And say,
Just
I'm the
give me,
sand whisperer. Give me $5
oh,
American and I'll stop the sand.
I will give you $5 American. Just make sure you film that stuff. That is great mayhem content. I will play that over and over again because
Oh my goodness. We'll have to do something like that. Yeah.
It would make a
I'll
great
have to get
YouTube
video of
short.
me warning all the Americans to get out of the estuary by saying, you see that thing over there? That's a crocodile. And he would not be afraid of taking your leg off.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Crocodiles on your beach. Why?
What?
Shouldn't they be taken away? It's like, they live here, asshole.
Yeah, they are
You
like
don't.
the natives. This is
Yes.
No, that's not right. Like, leave the crocodiles alone.
Leave those poor crocs alone.
And
Yeah.
don't mess with them. Like, don't mess with them. You mess with a crocodile, it's going to mess with you. Like, what are you, crazy? Like, leave it alone. Like, just let it go about its business. Just leave it.
Exactly.
Leave it be. No, like that kind of upsets me when people go into a lovely, beautiful country with all the wild animals and everything like that, and then they're just like, but I don't like the monkeys screaming at night, and like, I need this and I need that. We got to get the monkeys away from here on the house. But they live here. You're just visiting. You're like a tourist.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Like, they live here. Leave them alone. And
if you ever want something really funny to do, I love to do this. I'll go in Tamarinda where I live. I'll go on Yelp and read all the comments for the hotels and the restaurants.
And they complain.
Sometimes some of the funniest shit you've ever laid eyes on, some of the stuff they're complaining about.
I remember when I went to Cancun and somebody was complaining out there to management. They actually had to go, like the servers out there had to go get the manager because this woman was screaming because there was like a little anole lizard running around on the patio. And she thought that was horrible.
Oh,
yeah, she could have been. Somebody should have wrote an AITA on that woman. Because,
they should have.
Or am I the Karen? Because she was a Karen. She's screaming about this little tiny lizard. It was, and I was only like 3 inches, and it's like, there's all this natural. It was one of those hotels that didn't bring in anything that wasn't native to the area. So like all of the plants and everything like that were all done from the area. It looked like you were walking around a natural faunaed area of the island. You know what I mean? Like it didn't. Beautiful. Yeah, and it is. And she's complaining because there was a lizard. I found it a compliment that there was a lizard there. That means they want to live there too. They did a good job.
That's right. They did a good job.
Yeah, they did a good job making it like, very tropical and relaxing. And I had a great time at that hotel. Besides laughing my ass off at that Karen, But it's like, and we left everybody who worked there a very nice tip that they had to put up with that Karen for the whole time we were staying there too. Like they didn't
have to do that.
I would have kicked her from the hotel, but they didn't. And everywhere we went, we saw her. Every restaurant, every bar, everywhere we went on that island, we saw that woman, and we're like, "There's Karen. There's that Karen. What's she gonna do here?" She was always up to something. I guess when you're a Karen, you just can't help but be a Karen no matter what you do.
Yeah, and here you can't be very happy. There are a lot of times I'll see people come here and be really excited to live here, and then the 2-year mark seems to be the make it or break it point. Either you scuttle on back to America after 2 years, or you're completely native and you're like, yeah, whatever happens, happens.
I guess it's like what you appreciate more. Like, because it's very separate. You don't get like here in America, we're so used to having everything on demand as soon as we want it. And you can get a bit spoiled. It doesn't happen on islands, right? Like everything has to be brought in. You don't have access to everything, We're
not actually on an island. We're connected to Nicaragua and Panama.
Oh, you are.
So we're a little thin strip of land, but you're right. So if you want to do crazy shopping, you have to go to San Jose. So here there's not a lot of shopping. That doesn't bother me. I'll order stuff from Amazon all the time, and it comes in a week and a half, 2 weeks. But COVID kind of killed that. So when I go back to the States, I do these huge shopping runs. I make the little one that KJ did the other day where she's bragging about spending $500. I was chortling when I watched that going, oh, you sweet summer child. It's like, I know, because you do that and spend 3 times that. Easy.
Right, easy.
And yeah, because what you do is you put your suitcase, you put your clothes in your smallest suitcase, and you take your suitcases and you do like one of those one of those Russian nesting dolls.
Oh yeah, you just put them all inside. Yes, that's perfect.
Inside.
And then you
go with one suitcase and come back with 25. That sort of thing.
And come back with 25. I don't think I could get 25 in there, but yeah, I understand what you mean.
Back
and then
with
you could
7 is the most.
Yeah, yes. But it's worth it because you're saving all the money and you stockpile your pantry and everything else and anything else that you wanted at the time. You just have to wait for it. It's not like you can't get it. You just have to
right.
wait.
And there are things that you can't get here. Like asthma meds, I cannot get them here. I can get something similar, but to get the exact med, I have to go back to the States. So there's some things like that you get.
Yeah, but you can get, as long as you can get enough quantity, and plus it keeps you coming back to the States. You get a little trip in, you get to, do all that. It probably keeps you there longer that you can go back and forth a little bit.
Because when I go to the States, it's like, oh my God, how did I live with this? How did I live with the constant,
the noise,
traffic, the constant
noise,
the constant
pace,
TV, the constant everything. It's like, I can't wait to go back to Costa Rica where it's quiet.
Right. And then you don't complain about the monkeys or the birds or anything when you're there because that's like it's beautiful. It's relaxing. Yeah, but here it's traffic and airplanes and neighbors and you don't realize how loud everything is here until you go somewhere where it's quiet, like really quiet.
Exactly. I didn't live in New York, but I lived in the greater DC area, so there's some similarities there.
Whenever we go on vacation, it's usually up to the mountains where it's quiet, like really quiet. And when the sun goes down, that's it. Like it's pitch black. You could see stars because there's no street lights. There's no, big city lights everywhere. Like you actually get to see the sky for a change. And it kind of refreshes you a little bit, but you realize like how intrusive everything is, day-to-day living with us here, how fast-paced it is. And this is why people just people live from vacation to vacation because of it. Other countries do it a little different. I'm always fascinated by what is it in the Netherlands? I want to say the Netherlands, I'm not sure, but they have a 4-day week because it's 10 hours a day. And then they have a three-day weekend. And they have much more vacation time and everything because they want people more relaxed and a slower pace, and they want them at their best when they're working. And they just switched everything around.
They used to have long vacations, lots of days off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have like maternity leave for both parents, and things like that. And because they want people to be like well adjusted at a slower pace, more relaxed, less stress, because you can work better with less stress. We're here in the States, they're like more, like the more so we put stress on everybody to work better. Like the pressure to get the job done, the pressure of the deadlines, the pressure to produce more over and above, it is a lot more. So it's like very, very different, it's I'm fascinated by how different everything is in other countries. I definitely want to get adopted by a foreign country. Just putting that out there.
Pretty sweet to live in a foreign one sometimes. I have to laugh though, because there's the flip side of that too. Here in Costa Rica, the Ticos, or we call the locals Ticos, that's their name that they call themselves, but they have a very laid back attitude. So you might call the plumber and say, hey, I need you to come out and work on my toilet, say, and say, okay, I'll be out on Wednesday. Wednesday comes, nobody. The next Wednesday comes, nobody. 3 or 4 Wednesdays later, the guy shows up and it's like, hey, I wanted you here, a month ago to work on my toilet. He said, but I'm here now. So we always laugh about that. Tico time is a real thing. And it is just used to it, or you have a nervous breakdown.
It's like, it is what it is, right? Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get around to it. Like, we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like... Oh man, it's like they're on their own different little time zone. I guess
they are.
Yeah. I guess you're just grateful they actually show up. You don't want to say anything and then go away. It could be months or a year before they come back again. They fit you in. So there you go. Suzanne, this has been really I really enjoyed spending time with you. I hope you come and do it again, and please come to Mayhem anytime you want.
I am coming to Mayhem on Saturday night. I'll make a point of it.
Yeah, I think you'll have fun, and most of the people here in chat are there too, and you'll enjoy it. You interact with all of these people regularly. It'll be fun. And on that, I'll go put the outro in. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Enjoy the rest of your I hope it goes well. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat for participating. I hope you had a little bit of fun, and we'll see you again. We have next coming up Wednesday, we have Let's Talk with Megan, and we're going to do an update on the Valor Daybell case. We're going to be talking about some creator conflict stuff going on with the just subscribers getting attacked, but on my channel we don't talk names or anything. We're going to talk only about the issue of putting subscribers in these terrible positions, like for what, I have no idea. And we're also going to talk about Roblox just went down for quite a few days, and something going on with that, and how do you manage that when your kids are so addicted to a video game and all of a sudden it disappears. Like, what are you going to do? Like, how you manage screen time. It opened up a lot of dialogue for Megan and I, so we're interested in talking to everybody about it. But that'll be Wednesday at 2:00. We hope you see you there. Another AIT on Thursday. And on that, Suzanne, do you have anything coming up on your channel?
My husband is wanting to do a Love After Lockup recap this afternoon, and I don't know exactly when that will be. Probably 3 or so. Yeah,
that's a hot show.
Love After Lockup. I like it too. There's something that we can do together that we just laugh so hard. So we're going to do a comical Love After Lockup. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about trauma. So that will be the serious one, and that one will be probably around 10:30 tomorrow. I just don't have any schedules. Well, I'm not scheduled, but other than that.
Well, we do get your notifications. You see, I pop in there when I can. I'm always listening. I watch the replays a lot. And Mrs. Cassandra has been dropping your link for anybody that's listening later. Suzanne's link is down below, and also her Twitter if you'd like to follow her, because there's some great content over there too. And on that, thanks again, Suzanne. I'm going to put the outro in. This was fun. I can't wait to do something again with you. This is a blast. You're one funny lady.
See y'all later.
Okay.
Bye.